Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your live fan reaction show. I hope you are all well. We have won 2-1 away at Morecambe. It wasn't easy. They didn't make it easy on us, but we've done it. And I'm joined again by Coxie. Welcome in, Coxie. How you doing?
Alrighty, mate. Yeah.
Good man. I'm going to show the league table because it needs to be shown. And then we'll get some comments from the live chat. Don't forget, this is the live fan reaction full-time show. So we want you guys and girls at home, whether you've watched it, listened to it, was there, are there, however it may be, whatever it might be the case, get involved. Live chat, live links coming on, have your say. Link is now coming into the chat. Have your say now. Click that link. All you need is a smartphone, a tablet, a computer. You just need a microphone, not even a webcam. But, you know, webcam is always good, as Coxie would agree. But you can click it, get involved. So the league table currently reads like this, Coxie. Ipswich Town currently sitting in second position. There we go. Let's make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Ipswich in second, 13 games, 30 points, 1 point behind Plymouth. We have Wednesday in third, and Portsmouth, who I believe have drawn 1-1 today with Fleetwood in fourth. That's now 8 points, Coxie. There's a weird sound coming from your computer, Cox. I'll just mute you for a second. That's now 8 points between us and Portsmouth. Very much starting to feel like a three-horse race for the top two. Welcome back, Mr. Griffin. Mr. Wilson. Alex Wilson, welcome back. Done it again. Talk to me, Alex. Look at that league table. What are your thoughts looking at that league table?
That was we would have crumbled at that last year, and yeah, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
And I'm back. Sorry about that.
And the thing is, we're creating us and Plymouth need to be creating a gap against everyone else.
Yes, this is it. It's a three-horse race now for the top. Well, currently it's a three-horse race. Portsmouth dropping points today at Morecambe, but it shows how easy it could be. Coxie dropping points away. Well, they were at home, Portsmouth, but we didn't. It was nervy. It was roller coaster. It was classic Town at times, but they came through it.
Yeah, that first half, it was shades of yesteryear or last season, you know, and that was a terrible first half from us. Probably, arguably, our worst first half of this, worst first half we've played this season. But I thought Kieran would have gone after the half time with the changes. He didn't. He stuck with it for a little while and then changed that. And then we haven't had a penalty for 33 years, and then today we got two.
38 games, and we got two in today's game.
Chap that went and missed, he's still going to be player of the season. But Lee Evans, that's how you take him, mate. That's how you take him.
Exactly how you take him. Yeah, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Great penalty. George Boy was feeling sick at 4:02. Rob Smith, not our best, but a win's a win. On we go. Kevin Keats, massive result. Mike D, shocking game, but a win's a win. Mike Baker, 3 wins in a row. Another monkey off our back. Hard fought, earned a win. Rob Smith, another 2 points in the like-for-like game. 25 extra points now. Oozil says, well fought win. Louis had to do that ugly way, but the important thing was that we got the 3 points with Plymouth winning. Can Plymouth go away, says Josh Russell. Woody Wood, Jesus, that was a must-win in the end. Proper squeaky bum time, but fair play to the boys. Trevor Amos, the important thing is 3 points and hard fought. It made some of the pre-match predictions very arrogant. Alex, many were thinking 4-0. It wasn't. How did you see today's game?
It was exactly what I thought it would be. I thought we'd have to break them down. That they have a game plan of how they play. We got sucked into it first up, I think. I text you saying we need to get the ball on the floor and play our football. For me, I think it started to turn at the end of the first half when because Carl Edwards was getting no joy down the right hand side, but I think McKenna made the change at the end of the first half, didn't he, to move Caden Jackson over into the right hand side and put Carl Edwards over on the left, which I think was positive because obviously they had their centre back was on a yellow as well, and although Carl didn't have an impact in terms of goals and assists today, I thought he had you know, another solid game. You know, won us a penalty. They didn't know how to handle him. So for me, you know, we wanted him to come on, you know, have a performance and stake his claim again. I think he did that.
Yes. Yeah, I think he did. And he played really well once he went to that left-hand side. The right-hand side, he was getting zero joy from, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely no joy. And I think, you know, that's credit to McKenna again. You know, we've now got a manager that now sees those things and isn't prepared to, and isn't afraid to make the changes if something isn't working. You know, I think putting Jackson in that role was good. You know, he's played that role 2 or 3 times now for, you know, when we haven't had Wes, so it's becoming less and less foreign for him. So yeah, I think that's when it started to turn, you know, because that's when we started to sort of really have a foothold. Then we came on and, you know, started the second half really well.
I'd agree with that.
I thought Fridge was immense today. He seems to be getting better and better as, you know, as time goes on. Richard Keogh, I thought grew into the game. First half, I thought he was, you know, taking a little bit too long on the ball, maybe, and was maybe slowing the game down a little bit. But he grew into it and had a solid game. So, you know, and for me, wins like this are the sign of the you know, the sign of a good team. You know, how many times did you hear Alex Ferguson say over the years, we haven't played well today, but we ground it out, and that's exactly what we've done. We've done that. And the thing is, we've done that 2 or 3 times this season now.
Yeah, we have done that quite a few times. It's the sign of champions, you know. You got to, or certainly a team moving in the right direction. You've got to keep doing that and grinding the results when you can. Have you stopped having a rave yet, Coxie?
Yeah, I hope so. I think the old webcam was having a bit of a cough there, and I wasn't up with that. So hopefully it'll be okay. Fingers crossed.
Coxie in Technicolor, says Jim. Okay, right. Let's move it on. Let's bring on Louis Fenton. Louis, how did you see the game today?
I saw that coming. That was always going to be an ugly game, guys. Honestly, that was literally like a carbon copy of that Burton game from earlier on, where you sort of you struggled kind of breaking them down in that first half, but like we sort of came good again, and it's another decision from McKenna that sort of clicked us, like you said. We were switching Jackson and Edwards. Jackson going on the right where he did well against Plymouth, I think it was. Edwards going further forward, and that sort of I think that sort of changed us. And then hitting the post in the first half and sort of coming into it at the end, sort of clicked us. And then second half, we just like, yeah, it was like, all right, McKenna must have said something like, must have had a proper go at them at the half time, and then this just came out like, yeah, we ain't losing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Who looked good for you? Who stood out for you in the town colours?
Oh, Lee Evans for me. So I think, honestly, guys, I think really for consistency, I think for me at the moment, Lee Evans has been the player of the year for me personally. Just for consistency, and I don't think Lee Evans this season has had a bad game, really. I think because people have said about Chaplin, haven't they, last few games, going a bit quiet. I don't think he's been poor, but I guess Chaplin, he was good, weren't he? Like first sort of 2 months, he's been like quality and he's been up there. But I think Evans, throughout all the games so far this season, has just put in an absolutely incredible shift, and even Morsey as well. Morsey is literally like a king in this league, honestly. I think them two, you do not get a better midfield partnership in the league with Evans and Morsey. So you
don't. I just feel today, penalty aside, Evans and Morsey were not at the races, Alex. I really felt that.
Yeah, no, they weren't, and you know, it was just one of those games where we ground it out and we turned it around. And for me, I'm pleased. And you know, they're not going to be at it every single game, but you're going to get more good games than bad games out of them, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely spot on there. You are going to get more good games than bad games. Louis, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, guys.
You're going to look after yourself. Richard Chandler, live from Morecambe.
Hello, you all right?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm all right after the second half.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I've seen some clips of you behind that lino, giving him a lot of stick, you know.
I was giving him a lot of stick. I think everyone in our stand was giving him a lot of stick because he couldn't keep up with play. I've seen Turtles move far faster than he was.
Okay.
And there was a shocking decision. I don't know if you guys may have been watching from abroad, but the TJJ foul in the first half was a definite penalty. He's all over him, and how that isn't given is a joke. and we finally had 2 penalties and then missed one.
This is it. I was going to say, you say that, and then we have 2 penalties in the second half. It was chalk and cheese, though, right? First half, not at the races. Second half, bang at the races. What was the difference for you? What really clicked us into gear?
I think towards the end of the first half, when he'd swapped them over with Jackson and Edwards moving sides, made a big difference. And it was almost like at half time he told them that was going to work, and they got confidence from it. I just think the first half they just didn't look like they were confident, and I think possibly that's a bit of too many changes. But I still even how we played in the first half, I always thought we were going to come back at them.
Yeah, that's what gave you that confidence in the stadium.
Just that we've been here before, haven't we? We didn't play great in spells against Forest Green, and we won 2-1. You're going to have to come away and win ugly. If you're going to win the title, you've got to win ugly games at times.
Very true. Yeah, absolutely. Who's your man of the match?
And we've still hit the woodwork twice, and we're criticising, or not criticising, but we're not gushing. Was it 3 times? Oh, I was queuing at half time to get drinks and I missed us hit the crossbar and missed us another chance because the kids wanted food.
Classic away day. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Who's your man of the match, Richard?
Edmondson. I thought he had a hell of a game.
What? Okay, Edmondson. That's 2 shouts for Edmondson. Richard, the signal's not too good. We'll let you go. Thank you so much for joining us. Look after yourself.
See you later.
2 shouts for Edmondson there, Coxie. How did you see our hot point game?
A hot point game?
It's a fridge. A hot point fridge.
And I think that there are other makes of fridges available out there.
Yeah, but none that I can afford. Anyway.
No, me neither. The fridge again. He's got back in, and he's got confidence. He seems to be back where he nice and steady now. He got that equalising goal, and then from there on we pushed. But we won ugly today. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't the 6 or 5-0 or 4-0 some people were saying. But I wish I'd have stuck with usual 2-1 today. But, it's a 2-0.
You said 2-0. 3 points is 3 points. Let's bring in Mr. Lee Anderson. Lee, how did you see the game today?
Well, I'm surprised I'm still alive. I think that's heart-wrenching, isn't it? You spend a week at work being stressed, and then you think your football's your release, and you're more stressed. I'm sitting here watching the game in Colorado with me and my lad, and we're both sitting here with just stressed out. But I think that's football, and I think, all the... we talked about it pre-match, didn't we? I was talked on the show and that about this, that, and the other. But I think the reality is these games are never easy. They're not easy. I mean, I'll quote 3 things already: long grass, narrow pitch, watered to beyond a quad mile. You could see the spray coming up off the ball, and that's why our passes were short first half. We should get used to that in the warm up. Don't get me wrong. But they're the challenges. The pitch must be a yard or so narrower either side than Portman Road, I would think. And you have to cope with that. And we didn't cope with that first half. They pressed us. But again, the game is a bit like Cambridge. Although we went a goal behind, they will tire in the end. In the end, 9 times out of 10, football will come through. And today it's happened. And again, we've turned a corner. It's bottom of the league. So what?
Mm-hmm.
Makes nothing. Means no difference. You've still got to go to these places and win. And other teams will go there and get beat. It's another 3 points. I think we are at 11 points now, ahead of the top 6 in the top 6, which is which is we're heading in the right direction and such like. But I think we got control of the game better second half, and as has been alluded already by everyone who's spoken, the last 10 minutes, I was really frustrated until the last 10 minutes of the first half when we started to actually turn the screw a little bit and take control of the game. Because sometimes you'll concede goals, but it's how the game is going. It's what you're doing as a team. And I thought second half we we carried that on, and it could have been, the goals could have been more and more. But a shout out again to Evans. I thought it was great today, and I know the two, we don't think they weren't good as a midfield, but Sam Morsey, God, if you watch him pushing forward and doing everything, he again, leadership from him I thought was fantastic. Edwards again, as alluded to, he swapped sides, coming in on his right foot, got the pen, clear pen. I thought the second one was a bit tight, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure he just got a toe on the ball. It just looked like one of those, but we got it. And Chapman's missed the first one. You watched them 2 Colby Bishop penalties. Both of them were no worse than his. The goalkeeper just chosen the right way. But Evans just goes in and smashes it in, doesn't he? So all good. And we move on to the next one.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got 214 watching on YouTube. Hit the like button, please, ladies and gentlemen. In other words, Coxie, 214 Norwich fans, because they've not hit the like button. They must not be Town fans. Celebrate a Town win.
It can't be, can they? They must be gutted with our comeback win today, even though it wasn't pretty.
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't good. A game of 2 halves, says EJ Norris. Aaron Scott, credit to Morecambe, better than most who played this season, created some chances and gave it a good go. Half time, I wouldn't say despairly, but it certainly was, a different mood as it is to full time. Second half, I think we come out of the traps flying like a rocket. What were the real changes, do you think, from the first to the second half that created that opportunity for us to fly out and be more on the front foot? Was it a wake-up call? Was it a cold slap on the face by Morecambe taking the lead? Because first half, we were not at the races at all.
No, I think what happens is you get in at half-time. McKenna's a good manager. He sits them down. He's probably, he's not going to be sitting there shouting at them. It's all constructive. It's saying what you've got to do. We've got to pass the ball better. We've got to be crisper. We've got to try to take control of the ball a bit better. They're going to be nervous about having that 1-0 lead. I think they sat off us a little bit. I don't think they pressed us. But you've got to say, get out there, pass the ball, keep the ball, do what we've done. And look at all the other games that we've played in where we've played well. Teams have pressed us, but we've kept the ball. And we're not playing in tight areas, and we take our chances. And I think they just come out with a bit between their teeth. And we pushed on and pushed on because they are always there for the taking. Bottom of the league. If you turn it around, you can always say, they're on the edge. They're always nervous. They were playing. They were after they scored. They were wasting time from 35 minutes.
Yes, they were. They really were.
And I'm thinking to myself, if you're in a team or you're a manager, you're saying to yourself, actually, we've got Ipswich on the ropes here. Let's go for a second. And that's the difference between top of the league and bottom of the league. We kept to our traditions, our plan, or whatever you want to call it. And I think we stepped it up second half that way, and we got a little bit more joy because we passed the ball better in front of them, and it made us go from left to right, right to left, and then that created the space. But can I just say, Keogh? God, I tell you what, every time he got the ball, I was in bits. He's come in.
He looked rusty.
He's very rusty, very, very rusty for that type of game as well. So McKenna's trying to keep everybody going. So I think from that, especially first half, Keogh was rusty because they pressed us, and that was a bit of a obvious thing to see with Keogh, But second half, going forward, we got that. And we got the momentum and a team that is trying to hold on to what they've got. You shouldn't have that mentality. You can't. You've just got to drive on, play for the next goal and see what happens. And Morecambe were playing for us to score the next goal. And that's what happened. Thankfully.
Yes, we made it hard on ourselves to actually get those goals. We didn't make it easy. Michael Finch, there's games like this where teams try to stop us playing that shows how far we've come under Cook or Lambert. We've capitulated after they'd scored. Harps, Morecambe commentator, said the first half was the best they've played all season. Same with Burton. Seems he's really Seems these teams really raise their game against all the bigger teams. Can they stop doing this? Also, big up the Morecambe commentators who, according to Callie Bisler and others in the chat, they've kept giving us a shout out. Me and the platform a shout out. Respect that. Love that. Thank you very much, Dave. TT hitting the big time. Love to see it. Louis Fenton, it's going to be a case that will play well against teams in the top and win and play ugly against teams at the bottom. Lee, before I let you go, Kevin Keaton to join us in a second. Who's your man of the match?
Oh, dear me. That's really difficult. I never look out for it, but it's got to be Morsey. He drove us on. He was trying to drive us on. And these are the games where a lot of the time the ball goes over his head and he's not as influential as you think. But Morsey held us. He just kept us together today. So it's Sam Morsey for me.
Sam Morsey for you. I thought they were quiet, but hey, football's a game of opinions. I love yours. Look after yourself, Lee.
I think
Thanks
Take
for
care,
coming on.
guys. See you later.
Gav, I think that's going to be interesting with Morsey because he hit the 4. He's now at the 4 yellow cards. One more, and he's got a yeah. And whether he will try and sort of take one next week against Lincoln and then set out Port Vale and be back for Derby. I don't. That'll be interesting. Watch out for that one.
Okay. Do you want to just pause there for a moment? I've just been given a link, an official link to the Ipswich Town FC Twitter page as of 5:12 p.m. October the 8th. They have sadly reported that John Duncan, former manager of Ipswich Town, of course, has passed away at the age of 73. Died peacefully at home, surrounded by loved ones. May he rest in peace. From all of us at Talking Town, our condolences, thoughts, and prayers are with the Duncan family. Incredibly sad. Not what we want to read, not what we want to see, and like I say, all our thoughts, prayers, and wishes are with the Duncan family. Back to today's game, as hard as that may be now, but thank you for those that have alerted me in the chat. Let's have a few comments. Dr. Zach King, fridge man of the match for me, but Morsey came out second half and drove the intensity. Dedicated to win John Duncan, said ITFC man. Gareth Grayston, when was the last time we considered a goal in open play? Well, it must have been a while, Alex, but we made it bloody hard on ourselves today. We enough tried to give them a couple of goals.
Yeah, we really did. But I think, as people have said, teams like Morecambe, Burton, and those lower league, this is their cup final. Us coming to their places, that is like their biggest game of the season, and they're gonna play their game and try and make us, drag us into that, and it will happen where we'll not have the best first half, but we've got the quality now to turn it around, and I don't think you can underrate fitness as well, because we're in that position where Morecambe only had 5 subs today, and we're playing out the skin to just keep pace with us, whereas we're fit enough that we can keep playing right up until 90 minutes, and then if we need to make changes, we've got players of equal quality to step in. So, that is the difference, and it's just so refreshing to see us grinding out these results and not going to these clubs and just getting, absolutely sucked into playing their game, and us being the scalp of League One.
We are the scalp of League One. Kevin Keats, welcome in. How are you?
Good afternoon, gents.
Loving the background, loving the headphones. We can hear you, we can see you.
Lovely. It's a press conference.
It is like, yeah, we're going to interview Kevin Keats. So, Kevin, what did you make of today's game?
Oh, it wasn't a good watch, was it? It's a professional performance at the end of the day. So, when you consider the other teams around us, Plymouth have obviously smashed whoever they played. Sheffield Wednesday have got a win. But Pompey have slipped up. Barnsley have slipped up. Bolton has slipped up. Do you know what I mean? You can't.
Portsmouth slipped up today, Kevin. Obviously 1-1 at home to Fleetwood. Shows how easy it can be done. But it does, of course, increase that gap between us and 4th to 8 points, albeit Pompey have 2 games in hand. It's huge, isn't it, this winter? It can't be understated. It's what champions of promotion seasons are made of.
Exactly, massive. This is a banana skin from previous seasons, absolutely. And it nearly went down that same road, going 1-0 down. I'm thinking, oh God, here we go again. But sort of 5-10 minutes before the half time, started getting a bit more of the ball and actually playing a bit of football that we were trying to play. And I just think, the pitch was obviously a bit heavy. The size of the pitch is obviously different from what we're used to. Credit's got to go to the fans. The 1,000 odd that have gone up there. I've done some travelling this season myself, over 2,000 miles already. Obviously, I live down near Portsmouth, and I did contemplate going up there this morning, and I just had to pull the plug at the last minute. So fair play to them.
Everything all right?
No, yeah. It's just obviously it's a 6-hour drive from where I am.
I hear that.
So obviously with the amount of travelling we're going to do this month.
Say no more. So I completely understand, Kev. Absolutely. It's a game of two halves. We had a good conversation on Wednesday about harness. He didn't feature. Chaplin did. How did you see Connor's performance today?
Yeah, to be honest, I couldn't pick him out compared to any of the other members of the squad. They all sort of were struggling to get into it. Harness obviously come on. I don't think he really added massive amounts. I've got to give a shout out actually to Lewis. Sort of going on to the predictions for the game beforehand. I called out that KJ would start, and he said, "No, this is not the correct sort of game for him," and he was right. I just don't think KJ was all that effective in this one, and he called it really. So I've just got to give him a shout for that really.
Big up the rap star Lewis Robertson. Yeah, you love that. Respect that, Kev. Absolutely respect that coming on. But it was a game of two halves. Before I go back to the other two gentlemen, what was the difference for you? Because first half flat, not in it. Second half red hot. Well, red hot for a period of time.
I think personally, as soon as they've gone one up, I mean, even though it didn't look like they were sitting back on it, I think mentally they were probably sitting back on it a little bit, which sort of allowed us to sort of pass it about a bit more and, get a little bit more fluidity. I mean, I'd say it's our poorest performance so far this season, in my opinion. But yeah, our quality just shone through in the end, the finishing. I mean, Edwards hitting the post. I can't remember who else hit the post. I think we hit it 3 times, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, another day it could have been, a completely different story. But like I say, professional performance. This is what champions are made of. Like coming to horrible places like this, where they're already saying before the game how they're going to rough us up, and to come here and just take 3 points home. Brilliant.
Absolutely. Who's man of the match, Kevin?
Oh, geez, I was dreading you asking me that. I've got to go with the others really and say Edmondson. I think shades it a little bit. Maybe, like the others said, Morsey come into it a bit more in the second half. But really, it was a team performance to grind that 3 points out. So we take it and move on. I just want to say as well before I go, great bit of news. Derby, trying to think who are their lead goal scorer? Is it not O'Brien, is it? Ooh. But basically, he got a straight red today, so he's going to miss the Ipswich game. He's their leading goal scorer. Yeah, massive.
Okay, that's huge. Yeah.
Collins.
Jay. Okay, yeah, that's
Jay
huge.
Collins. Yeah, straight red.
Well, you never know. Right bit of luck, right place, right time. That's what football is a lot of the time.
That was the game I was fearing the most out of this block in October, to be honest.
How did you see Morsey's performance? Talking of suspensions, obviously he's walking that line between one more yellow and he's not going to be available for a game. How did you see his performance today?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Like I say, first half he had a few loose passes. Second half it's almost like he was trying to grab the game to drive us forward and stuff. I said this on social media, like he should have took a yellow against Cambridge to miss this game, and then at least he can go forward with the more competitive games going forward. But he might go another 5 games and not pick up a yellow. He's a moderate professional, let's say.
I think he'd take one next week and then Mr. Port Vale go.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
And then be back for Derby.
Yeah, I'll take that all day.
I've been asked by Mike D to ask you about Paul Mason on co-coms.
Oh, good God. Yeah. He was terrible. He's it's like he's not even watching the game. Like Connor Chaplin's been substituted 5 minutes previous, and we get a free kick outside the edge of the box, and he's like, "Oh yeah, get Connor Chaplin's left foot on this; he'll be perfect for it." And I'm thinking, "What are you on about?" And then I can't think what the other. He messed up a few times. Absolutely terrible.
He was obviously trained at the Chris Kamara School of commentating, really.
Oh, legend.
I've never seen a meltdown as quick as the one that when people thought they were getting a certain radio station's comms instead of the Ipswich Town TV. It was like, oh my God, we've got so-and-so. What's going on? It was like, yeah, oh my God. But yeah, poor Paul. I'm sure he'll, rebound. But Kevin, you got through it. See, I told you, nothing to it at all.
Cheers, buddy.
We expect it every week now. Look after yourself.
Great debut in midweek, Kev. Great debut in midweek.
Cheers, Coxie lad. Cheers,
all
Alex.
The best.
As we did last night.
Look after yourself. Absolutely love it. How many games do you miss with 5 yellows? It's one game, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, I believe so.
Thank you very much. McSaucepan, on the topic of red, Stockton's challenge on Evans was pretty orange. Jumped elbow first into his face so late. 80 said our fans gave their keeper a lot of stick. Gotta love that. Absolutely gotta love that. Don't forget, though, as we are half an hour through the show, you can support Talking Town. Hit the join button or head to Ko-Fi or leave a super chat, whichever you may want to do in celebration of Town's victory. Links in the description. Alex, you highlighted... no, you didn't, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Leith Davis, performance today. How was his performance for you? I was so upset he didn't get that free kick on target. I had him anytime goal scorer. And
that would have been nice. I did think of you when that. But yeah, for me, again, a lot of people have called out in the chat last 2 games. It's just another improvement in him. I think he'd come in and he's been absolute quality. You can see why we paid £1 million for him.
£1 million plus, but yeah, absolutely, he has been different gravy. Another assist for him today, Coxie. He's just getting better and better and better, isn't he?
Yeah, it's looking like a good investment by Town there. He's as you say, he's getting better and better, and he's proven every penny worth so far. Yeah, shame we didn't get that goal though. I agree with you.
Yeah. I was just going to say, one thing our ownership and have maybe come into criticism for is maybe focusing too much on, getting one player in, with like the George Hurst situation and the Selena situation. But I think Davis has been an example of why you maybe do that. With all the stuff that's going on with Leeds, having their left back out and then him being in Australia. We could have quite easily moved on and gone and got somebody else, but we didn't. We stuck our guns in there. We've got a quality player for it. So, I think you've got to maybe applaud the tenacity that we show in someone to go out and get him.
Yeah, absolutely. Just reading this, asking Colin how Morecambe was. Nice day with the points, I'd imagine, but looks like a nice place to go. Patrick Miles, do you think we'll get lucky? Do you think we got lucky with their goal ruled out for offside? Foxy?
Yeah, it's offside.
Offside is offside. £10 from Kevin. Thank you very much, Kevin. Debut and £10. You will go far in my books, my son. I love you. Tell you what, Kev, on that, Marcus Harness midweek was fucking sublime. Never played better, mate. Like another tenner, I'll give him a man in the match for Tuesday. Kevin Sher, in the late district, listen to you boys, a massive glass of red. Big up, Kev. Enjoy your holiday. Davis has much room for improvement defensively. Loses far too much in the air. Fab going forward. ITFC #mad. Kieran's rotation policy is keeping them fresh and interested. We are a well-oiled machine. We didn't look well-oiled in the first half, Alex.
No, we didn't. And it was. I think it was. Maybe you could argue too many changes, but it as I keep saying, it's going to happen. And as my intro said, we're not going to be at it every single game, all of the time.
Very true.
And as I've said before, we weren't good in the first half, but we've now got a management team in place that will see it's not good. They're very up on the data. They've got the iPad there, and you can see it with their own I'd obviously, if something needs changing,
Hmm.
you know, it will change. I wouldn't even put it past our manager that if someone was having a stinker of a game in the first half, he'd haul them off and change it.
In the
You know,
first, I don't know if he'd do that.
I think you've got faith in the in the management team, and I think, you know, you trust him if things maybe aren't working the way they should have been, which they weren't in the first half. That he'll change it. He won't be as stubborn as previous managers have in the past and said, "This is my system. I'm not going. We'll have plan A, and more than plan A, please." You know, so I think we weren't good, but you've got to applaud McKenna for making the changes, and you've got to applaud the team for implementing them in the second half. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Lloyd.
Hello,
welcome
mate.
in. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good man. Lloyd, proving to the world that you don't need a webcam, you just need a microphone to get involved with Talking Town. Lloyd, how did you see today's game? What are your thoughts on the 2-1 victory?
I thought Morecambe were quite fortunate to still have 11 men on the pitch, because that first half tackle, I thought that was quite high.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did look really nasty on them.
It did. Yeah.
And I know it's early in the game, but still, if it's a high tackle, it's still a serious foul. But yeah, I thought they were quite fortunate to have 11 men on the pitch. I thought first half we were pretty poor, not at the races, completely not at the usual standard we've set ourselves. And then second half, someone's lit a fire under them and they're playing brilliant.
Yeah,
it was a roller coaster of a ride, wasn't it?
it was a true Ipswich Town experience today. A true, to the point where I'm like bright red. You know, you started the game with, you know, excitement, expectation, and then it just went, you know, like a roller coaster. And then at half time you think, right, you've reached the bottom, and then you start climbing it up again.
And then one bit you see a rickety
and then they
rail.
get that second goal offside, but you don't know it's offside, so you drop that plunge.
Or any time a ball goes into the box, you think, "Oh God, is someone going to get their head on that?"
Christ, I've never seen us look
horrible.
so shaky. We were like a windbreak in the wind on Felixstowe seafront. We were just literally flapping away. Lloyd, you know, you mentioned the changes at half time or the difference between the first and the second. Is that all McKenna for you? Is that all McKenna and Pert at half time, getting into the boys, getting into the team, waking them back up, maybe tactically tweaking it? Or was it a little bit of, you know, themselves dragging themselves out of it? What was the difference, do you think?
Bit of a mixture of both. You know, we like to joke that McKenna's more of a school teacher, so he's like more calm and collected. As I was thinking, I thought when they probably go into half time, he brings out a little white paper board and starts drawing a box and goes, "This is what we need to do," and all that statistic. But then it's also to the players to respond to that, to the knowledge they've been given, and to do well with the information they have. They knew one of their centre backs was on a yellow card, so he was there to exploit it. I thought Edwards did really well when he got moved to the other side, because he was just constantly turning his man, and then fortunately turned him so much that he gave a penalty away.
Yeah, was the second one a penalty for you?
I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna say absolutely, always is.
I love that. Love it.
That's the answer.
So much.
The correct answer.
So much. Okay,
but
Lloyd.
It did show a replay. I thought, oh, it's a bit iffy, but nah, it's a penalty.
There you go. Lloyd, before I let you go, man of the match, please.
I said Kyle Edwards at the start, and I still think so. I thought that second half he was so much improved.
Love it. Love it. Lloyd, as always, a star in the making. Look after yourself.
See ya.
Good man. I can smell my stew. It's just completing. I can smell it. You know, you start getting those that chicken and the dumpling wafting through the house. It's like, Lloyd, I love you, but I can smell my dinner. So, you know, bye. Yeah, bye. But no, I absolutely love Lloyd. And I like when he comes on without his webcam, because it proves to the world that you don't need a webcam to come on Talking Town. You just need a microphone and an opinion. Or you can go the other end of the spectrum, like Coxie there and Kevin there with the wonderful green screens. Not quite as good as mine, obviously, but I'm the gov, so you know I expect it. But you can still go. Oh, yeah. Well, my webcam doesn't have a techno party halfway through the show, Coxie.
Yes, but my webcam has techno bugs.
Mine's a vanilla webcam. You see, it just doesn't what I paid for it to do. No, joking aside, he mentioned Edwards there. How was his game overall? Was it what you expected, or is he what Josh Russell and co have been calling him sort of before the game, a super sub? Coxie?
I said before, yeah, he is a super sub at the moment for me. I think it needs more sort of bringing on and gradually building up, like I said in the pre-game show. Yeah, not as good as the other night, but yeah, he was better. And just to highlight, what they said, I can't remember if it was Lloyd who said it, that the tactical change after that first half an hour, swapping Jackson and Edwards over was good. And recently past managers wouldn't have done that. They're just stuck with their guns and whether just you knew what the outcome would have been. So yeah, definitely better as a sub at the moment, Edwards.
Okay, Alex.
I thought he was solid. I don't think the issues on the right hand side were his fault. I thought he had another solid game. And yeah, he proved he can do it for 90 minutes for me. And I think it's all about with him, he's obviously a confidence player.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for him getting having him come in, having the faith training in him to start, I don't think he put a foot wrong as such during the game. So for me, it's just another step in his development. And I think maybe we with the right coach and the right management team again, which I keep harking back to it, but with the right manager backing him, I think we can have a real quality player that can be here for many years.
I believe so. Yeah, he's starting to come into his own a little bit and starting to show flashes, like when he ran at the fullback and made him commit a few times. Just needs to keep stacking it together. Just needs to keep putting it all together. And obviously, having Wesley Burns as the incumbent holder of the position, if you like, that's going to drive you to keep getting better, because you may start today over Wesley, but Wesley's a really good player that will continuously get better and better. Who's your player of the match as we close today's show then, Coxie?
Yeah, I think the majority have gone with Edmondson. I think that's a fair shout. Okay. But for me, it is Evans was the man of the match today.
Okay. Eric Clapton's under the pier eating his chips. Eric, love that. Enjoy your chips. And we want to big up coach number 2. Hello to everybody in coach number 2. I hope you make a safe journey home. Bring the 3 points back. Look after them. Cherish them. Love them. And enjoy yourselves as you get that bus rocking and rolling all over the world this evening.
Colin, how many rolls you took today? It's a longer journey. Usually that's the 6. Has he gone more today? I don't know.
Has he gone more? This is like Bruce's Price is Right, but with rolls.
I think it's high. I'll go higher.
Alex,
the rolls.
Did you say higher or lower than a 6?
The Collins rolls, how many?
I reckon he might have got a double pack.
Ooh.
Double pack!
He's gone
for a Warburton special. A double pack.
One for the journey up, one for the journey back.
Look at that. But I want to know what sort of rolls are they? Warburtons? Are they Kingsmill? Like, the quality of the rolls here is what's really at play. The number, yes, but the quality of the craftsmanship of the baker. That's what really matters to me as a roll connoisseur. Alex, your man of the match, please.
Fridge. Edmondson.
Edmund, yeah. Well, I know your fridge is, Alex.
Yeah, when I was waiting to come on, for the post game, I was like, I knew that Edmonton for me then, and unfortunately nothing has convinced me. So yeah, the goal for George and totally solid at the back again. So for me, we're going with Mr. Edmonton.
Okay, absolutely love it. Don't forget, we are back live tomorrow at 1:30 with Talking Town. We have got many ITFC fans probably joining us on the show, as we do every Sunday. But of course, the Cruncher will be here, who I've got no doubt, as he's not appeared in my VIP area, probably on Radio Suffolk this evening. So, go and check their post-game show out.
He sneaked on there the other night.
As well. He did both. Double duty. I don't mind that. Absolutely. Yeah. Get yourself out there, son. Don't forget, you can support the platform one-off or on a monthly basis by becoming a YouTube member, or head to our Ko-Fi, leave a super chat, whatever you can do. Please consider doing it, particularly if you've got quality and excitement out of this show. We've gone from the roles to player of the match to what went right or wrong in the first and second half to Kevin Keats giving us a press conference courtesy of a wonderful green screen. Twickenham Town just delivers every single time. But for now, it is the ITFC fan match reaction show. Live, done and dusted. Bugster says, what was Fridge's goals like? Haven't seen it yet. Alex, in 30 seconds for Bugster, sum it up. How was Fridge's goal?
It was a typical centre-back goal, which we weren't getting last year. You know, quality delivery from Lee Davis, and one of the men you know, right on his head and then in. So.
Okay, there you go. What better way could I sum it up than that? All I'll say to close is Ipswich Town weren't great in the first, were much better in the second, but walk out of Morecambe today with 3 points rather, currently sitting in second, with Lincoln, who are in 16th, up next. We're on our way, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm on my way to a beautiful chicken stew. Look up. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Oh, please, lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I felt went crazy from just the thought of you.